Go. All right, we're working.
Vice President Mike Pence, welcome back to Meet the Press.
It's good to be back, Kristen, and welcome to Indiana.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here and to sit and have this conversation with you.
You know what, Eric? We're doing a real stream today. What? What just happened? No.
Vice President Mike Pence, welcome back to Meet the Press.
It's good to be back, Kristen, and welcome to Indiana.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here and to sit and have this conversation with you. I want to ask you about the Trump administration. We're now past the first 100 days of President Trump in office. Mr. Vice President, what do you see as the single biggest difference between the Trump-Pence administration and the Trump-Vance administration?
Well, first, I want to, as I did in January, I want to congratulate the president on his historic victory, returning to the White House. And I think it was a testament to his appeal among tens of millions of Americans. But, Kristen, I also believe it was in many ways an endorsement of the success of our administration, where we rebuilt the military, revived the economy, appointed conservatives to our courts at every level. And I think the president's been off to a strong start, moving on many of the same issues that we moved on. He's secured the southern border in a historic way, engaged in internal enforcement, restored morale in our military. Recruitment is now exceeding goals in every branch of our service. And I think taking the fight to the Houthis in the Red Sea all demonstrate that President Trump hasn't lost a step in terms of his bias for action and his instinct.
I forgot. I need to make some clips here. I have, looks like 20 clips to make or so. Get into your 40s, you start to have like nagging injuries, whether it's a shoulder or a knee or a whatever. But I don't for a second take any of that back. I think the experience of high school football and all these other sports is well worth it. Well worth the risk. The memories you make, what you learn, it's well worth the experience. Well worth it. By the time you get into your 40s, you start to have like nagging injuries, whether it's a shoulder or a knee or a whatever. Getting good sleep. In fact, people think, oh, I smoke marijuana, I sleep better. And it's like, no, actually you don't. You get less REM sleep. It's like, yeah, you get so stoned, like you pass out type of thing. But like it actually prevents you from getting that deep, deep REM sleep. So this idea that better option than a lot of these pharmaceutical drugs and these pills. I mean, you've got people like popping pills and like drinking alcohol and stuff like that, and then everyone's like, "Oh, but they better not smoke a joint, better not, vape any THC." It's like, I'd rather have a little marijuana than drink alcohol and like. Oh man. Biden. Sarunas, do you not realize that like the world absolutely fell apart when Joe Biden was president? The world was much safer under Trump. You realize that, right? So some of these were some pretty good little rants I went on this morning. I don't know if you can tell I was talking a lot during this stream. I went on a number of little political rants. I will grant you that he's not necessarily, he doesn't have your traditional sort of credentials of like, oh, I'm the this, that, the other title thing. But guess what? That's exactly what we wanted out of the Trump administration. That's exactly why we put Trump there. We don't want more of the same. Thank you very much. Yeah, see, there's another good little... blankets. And Trump was tough on Russia during his first term, which is why Russia never invaded anybody else. So this whole thing that like Trump is like pro-Russia in the I gave him what a kind of a pain this is. I wish there was. You realize that's just all the same media concocted BS that's been said about Trump since 2015, literally for a decade. You're still falling for that stuff? It's like, yes, dude, of course I still support Trump. I support Trump more now than ever. There's no crazy stuff going on. Trump is having a highly successful administration. Yeah, dude, I had somebody coming in. Oh my gosh, do you still support Trump even with all the crazy stuff going on? And it's like, dude, you're still listening to the anti-Trump media and falling for the anti-Trump media? Wow. Wow. Stuff going on. You realize that's just all the same media concocted BS that's... If so, please tell me. Yo, Moon Reaper. What's up, Moon Reaper? No, I don't listen to Wiz. Oh, okay.
Throwing fire.
Bro, are you guys seeing this? You've been ranting and raving. You've been ranting and raving all match long. Like, do I need to keep going?
Okay. You're 3 and 12. Maybe you should contribute. Move it, son. Laying down smoke.
Dude, that was hilarious, man. That was pretty fun. That was pretty funny. That was pretty dang funny.
Okay, yeah, what did I do? What did I say?
Well, you called multiple people the F word. You then accused me of body blocking you. Then you've been ranting and raving. You've been ranting and raving all match long. Like, do I need to keep going?
Okay. You're 3 and 12. Maybe you should contribute. Move it, son.
He was like, dude, I'm not negative. I'm not toxic. And everybody else. Here's the truth about the consumer sentiment index news being at an all-time low. Well, of course it is, because the media has been publishing doom stories, and then the doom. Hey, we've been running nothing but doom stories for 3 months. Let's check consumer sentiment. Oh, it's down. People are scared. Oh wow, they must hate Trump. Trump must be Trump. And everybody else. Here's the truth about the consumer sentiment index news. Holy cow. I got quite a few more to go.
And joining us now.
For leadership. But in the midst of all of that, I have seen some departure from the policies of our administration, both at home and abroad. Where we passed across-the-board tax cuts, there are some in and around the White House that are actually advocating raising taxes on upper-income Americans. And of course, the economic policies of tariffs against friend and foe alike is very different from how we operated. We very much used the threat of tariffs as leverage for negotiations, Kristen. But on so-called Liberation Day, President Trump announced broad-based tariffs, so-called reciprocal tariffs on nations all over the world. And while he paused those and now has again paused the tariffs on China, what I see in this administration is a steady drive toward a baseline of maybe even 10% tariffs that I think would be harmful to jobs in America.
We're for sure getting 10%. Trump's already said we're going to keep 10% on everybody.
Be harmful to consumers in America, and ultimately we've expressed that concern. And on the foreign stage, we stood with our allies, stood up to our enemies, and while I've been encouraged at the president's recent steps and statements with regard to confronting the Russian invasion in Ukraine, the wavering support of the administration over the first 100 days, I think, has only emboldened Vladimir Putin. But my hope is that the president understands at the end of the day, we will achieve peace in Eastern Europe. We'll secure peace around the world through American leadership and strength.
Mr. Vice President, I want to follow up on something that you just said about what President Trump has called his big, beautiful
Mike
bill.
Pence, spot on,
It would
as always.
include extending most of the Trump-era tax cuts, but there is some discussion about potentially raising taxes on the highest income earners. Is that something you would ever support, or do you think that that should be a no?
I think that should be a no, Kristen, for two reasons. Number one is the American people are still recovering from the failed economic policies of the Biden administration that drove the worst inflation in 40 years. But
Yeah. Very easy. Okay, so where do you cut spending then? That's what I want to hear Mike Pence talk about. It's like, okay, easy for him to say on this. I think Mike Pence will say you need entitlement reform. That's where Mike Pence will disagree with Trump, is Mike Pence will actually say, no, we need to reform Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Trump says you can't touch it. I agree with Mike Pence on that one.
so the idea of raising the top marginal rate, and there's some voices around the president and outside the White House, they're talking about raising it to 40%, which is even higher than what Kamala Harris proposed. I think that'd be an enormous tax increase on small business owners and job creators around America, and it should be opposed. But it's not just bad economics, it's also bad politics, and it's something I know something about. As a 30-year-old man, I was running for Congress in 1990, Kristen, when President George Herbert Walker Bush raised taxes in a bipartisan deal on Capitol Hill. It was heralded by many people in the press. But at the end of the day, Republicans paid a very dear price. We're the party that cuts taxes. And I think extending all of the Trump-Pence tax cuts has to be the leading domestic priority of this administration.
Well, it is the big focus. We will continue to watch the debate unfold, as I'm sure you will as well. I wonder, Mr. Vice President, how do you think your successor, Vice President J.D. Vance, is doing?
Well, I would have a hard time assessing that precisely, but he's an honorable man. Karen and I pray often for him and Usha and appreciate his willingness to serve the nation. But somebody told me the other day, they said, I know things are a lot different in the West Wing than when you were there. And I just smiled and said, actually, I don't think they're different at all. There's one person in the West Wing that makes the decisions. And I think everyone around him does well to make sure he has the broadest range of counsel and information to make the best decision for the American people.
When you say you would have a difficult time assessing that, why is that? Why can't you assess at this point after 100 days how the vice president's doing in office?
Well, I think he's carrying himself well publicly. And so I don't mean to gainsay that at all. But for me, the principal role of the vice president in my 4 years was the opportunity to be an advisor to the president. I was more often than not the last person in the room. The president and I had a great working relationship. You saw it firsthand on many occasions. We were different men, different personalities, but we developed the kind of relationship where President Trump was not just my president, he was my friend. And I took the opportunity in the right settings, in private moments, to share with him those times when we differed on issues. And my hope is, whether it's the vice president or others, that there are those voices around the president that do the same, because one of the best kept secrets in America is that President Donald Trump listens. And in our administration, we were able to build that extraordinary record of prosperity and peace around the world because we had a broad range of viewpoints and a president who knew how to make a decision.
Sir, given everything that you are saying, is there any part of you that wishes you were vice president right now, that you were still in the White House?
It was the greatest privilege of my life to be vice president of the United States. But I have to tell you, in the last 4 years, including through my campaign for president, we've been blessed in every way that matters. And the opportunity for me to take that experience in the White House as a governor here in Indiana and as a member of Congress for 12 years, and to put it into practice as someone who's advocating the kind of ideals and principles that have always made this country strong and prosperous and free.
Man, Mike Pence
That's my
is so
calling
good.
in my life right now.
So
and
good.
We don't look back.
All right. Let me ask you about President Trump's first official overseas trip to the Middle East this week, where he met with the newly installed president of Syria. He dropped all of the sanctions against that country despite Israel's opposition. The trip included stops in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, but he did not stop in Israel. Sir, what message do you think President Trump's trip sent to Israel overall?
Well, first off, I think it was a very successful trip for the American economy. The president secured financial commitments in all three countries, including a historic contract for purchasing Boeing aircraft that'll really support American jobs. And I don't gainsay that. But Kristen, I've never been a fan of American presidents criticizing America on foreign soil. And to have the president in Saudi Arabia questioning America's global war on terror and describing it as nation building and interventionist, I thought was a disservice to generations of Americans who wore the uniform, who took the fight to our enemy in Afghanistan and in Iraq. Particularly giving that speech in Saudi Arabia, where 15 of the 19 9/11 hijackers hailed from, and not including Osama bin Laden, I thought was unfortunate.
What did you make of the fact that President Trump didn't stop in Israel?
Yeah, in our administration, we had really two pillars of our foreign policy across the Middle East. Number one, we made it clear that America stands with Israel. And number two, we contained Iran economically, diplomatically, and strategically. And we
Man, yet again, I agree with Mike Pence on a lot of this stuff.
We marshaled, as the president did on that first trip 8 years ago, we marshaled the support of other nations across the region, including Saudi Arabia and others, to join with us in an alliance against Iran's sowing terrorism around the region and around the world. In this trip, I thought it was a missed opportunity not to also travel to Israel as President Trump did 8 years ago. Because I think sending the message to the Arab world that we're prepared to engage, we're prepared to support. We want economic commerce, we want strategic and security engagement. But in that trip 8 years ago, he also made a point to fly to Israel and make it clear that if the world knows nothing else, the world knows this, that America stands with Israel. Now, there were people that said that our efforts and the president's decision to move the American embassy to Jerusalem to recognize the Golan Heights would be disruptive, that it would create and foment violence in the region. But there we were, seated on the south lawn of the White House, in the fall of 2020, signing the first peace agreement between Israel and two Arab nations in 25 years in the Abraham Accords. So for me, not only the president's decision to not travel to Israel on this trip was a missed opportunity, but also I have concerns about excluding Israel from the ceasefire with the Houthis. And also I have concerns about what I hear about negotiations and discussions with Iran.
You take me to my next question. Let's talk about those negotiations and discussions with Iran. The administration is holding direct talks with Iran in an attempt to get them to give up their nuclear weapons program. And there's a big debate right now. Is the goal total dismantlement of Iran's nuclear program, or is it okay for Iran to have a civilian nuclear program, as, for example, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has indicated as a possibility? Where do you stand, Mr. Vice President? Does Iran
Yeah, Eric, yeah. I can take an Australian politics clip for sure, yep.
need to totally dismantle its nuclear program in order for there to be any deal, in your perspective?
Iran is the leading state sponsor of terrorism in the world. And the mullahs in Tehran cannot be trusted. They have breathed violence against our most cherished ally, Israel, for generations. And now they possess the missiles that could fly to Tel Aviv and Jerusalem in a matter of minutes. So I am grateful that President Trump has reiterated the policy of our administration that Iran will not be permitted to obtain a nuclear weapon. I mean, the security of America, the security of Israel, the stability of the region and the world demands that we enforce that. But from my standpoint, when I hear talk about allowing Iran to have an enrichment program at a certain level, it sounds for all the world like President Obama's Iran nuclear deal that we got out of in the first year of our administration. I mean, I think the American people know that Iran, that is oil rich and energy rich, doesn't need a civilian nuclear program, and our objectives should make it clear in negotiations with Iran that their current nuclear program must be either dismantled or destroyed.
And just to be very clear, I mean, Iran is closer to developing a nuclear weapon than at any point in the past. Is there any other option other than holding these talks?
Well, there is one other option, and we need to make it clear to them that that America is not bluffing, that we will not allow them to continue to enrich uranium. We will not allow them to continue to develop a potential for a nuclear program. I think the Secretary of State said that they're dangerously close, and I think he's right.
So you're
We saw
saying
that.
an attack should be on the table?
Well, of course. I think all options should be on the table. But that's what a negotiation can be about. I'm very skeptical about Iran. I mean, we took action during our administration. We didn't hesitate to use force. We took out Qasem Soleimani, the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. We contained Iran. We made it clear to them that we would use force, and President Trump did in our first 4 years to prosecute our interest in the region. As they sowed violence and discord, as they supported the militias across Syria and northern Iraq, and as they tacitly supported ISIS as our military took down the ISIS caliphate in our 4 years. I honestly believe that one of President Trump's great accomplishments in that first administration was the credible.
Just after we had a national plebiscite on legalizing gay marriage, the guy in the clip, Bob Catters from Queensland's the most conservative state, the far north part of the state, the most conservative area.
I mean, you know, people are entitled to their sexual proclivities, you know. I mean, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned, you know. But I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
We've got 90 30-second statement today. We're going to do it on the new beer can too. So
That is hysterical. Oh, that is absolutely hysterical, man. I have never seen that. Oh, man.
Incredible threat of the use of force and a willingness to use force, whether it be against ISIS, taking down the Iranian general, or firing cruise missiles into Syria. I think that sent a message to Iran, and I think we should send no other message than their nuclear program must be dismantled or destroyed, or the United States will act.
Let me ask you about another aspect of President Trump's trip. He said that he was going to accept a $400 million luxury jet from Qatar to use as a temporary Air Force One. He said he'll eventually donate that to his presidential library. Do you think President Trump should accept a military aircraft from Qatar?
Well, I think first we've got to remember who Qatar is. We've got a military base there. I have members of our immediate family that have deployed to the region. But Qatar has a long history of playing both sides. They support Hamas. They supported al-Qaeda. Qatar has actually financed pro-Hamas protests on American campuses across the United States. And so the very idea that we would accept an Air Force One from Qatar, I think, is inconsistent with our security, with our intelligence needs, and my hope is the president reconsiders it. I think if Qatar wants to make a gift to the United States, they ought to take that $400 million and plow it into infrastructure on our military base.
So you're saying?
All right, whatever. I want to do
First of all, the history of rating agencies, by the time they get to a downgrade, everything's already in the market. Larry Summers and I don't agree on everything, but in 2011, the last time, or 2 times ago when we had a downgrade, he poo-pooed it. What I think is important is that President Trump has just come back from this historic Mideast trip, and there's trillions of dollars coming into the U.S. So we are seeing confidence from investors. So I don't put much credence in the Moody's.
The downgrade comes as Republicans are trying to pass the big, beautiful bill, as the president calls it. It's a massive bill that has tax cuts, spending cuts. The nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget says that this bill, if it passes in its current form, will add between 3.3 and 5.2 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. Now, the debt is a concern of yours. You talked about our debt being on this unsustainable path earlier this month. Won't this bill just make it worse?
There are several components there. So if we unpack it, there is the growth, the potential growth of the debt, but what's more important is that we grow the economy faster. So what we've seen under the past 4 years, and what we inherited, I inherited 6.7% deficit to GDP, which was the highest deficit when we were not at war, not in a recession. So we've been trying to bring down the spending, and we are going to grow the revenue side. So we are going to grow the GDP faster than the debt grows, and that will stabilize the debt to GDP, which even Secretary Yellen and I agree is the most important.
No, I that's what everybody's always been saying. It's never happened.
Important number.
So when in the first Trump administration, you were not a part of it, but obviously President Trump was, there were tax cuts passed, and the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget says that those tax cuts added $2.5 trillion to the national debt and did not, there's always a hope that it will bring about so much revenue growth that it will pay for itself, but that didn't happen.
Well, we also had something called COVID, and so there was a rescue plan.
This is separate from that, though. I'm aware of the COVID trillions.
But the CBO scoring was about $1.5 trillion off. And again, what matters is the growth. And during President Trump's first term, up until March of 2020, we had very high non-inflationary growth. And that's what I think we can have again this time.
Let's turn to trade, because that's obviously where there's been a lot of focus. President Trump just put 150 countries on notice that their tariffs are about to go higher in the next few weeks if they don't reach a trade deal with the U.S. How exactly will you decide what those new tariff rates will be? Will they be what was previously announced on April 2nd, so-called Liberation Day? And when will they actually go into effect?
So, Jake, we have a 90-day pause. There are 18 important trading partners, probably another 20 strong relationships. President Trump has put them on notice that if you do not negotiate in good faith, that you will ratchet back up to your April 2nd level.
So the 90-day pause isn't just China, it's everybody?
No, the 90-day pause was put on about a week after April 2nd.
That first 90-day pause,
The first 90-day pause.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that with a few exceptions, the countries are coming with very good proposals for us. And I look at these proposals and they want to lower their tariffs, they want to lower their non-tariff barriers. Some of them have been manipulating their currency, they've been subsidizing industry and labor. And I look at these proposals and I think these are excellent proposals, but I wonder, how did we get here? How did the previous administrations allow this to happen to the American people?
So 150 countries have been put on notice. How many deals do you think you're going to be able to announce, and how quickly?
Again, it will depend on whether they're negotiating in good faith. And there are a lot of smaller trading relationships that we can just come up with a number. My other sense is that we will do a lot of regional deals. This is the rate for Central America. This is the rate for this part of Africa. But what we are focused on right now are the 18 important trading relationships.
Walmart announced this week it's going to have to raise prices on some goods, and they blame Trump's tariffs, particularly the tariffs on China. Here's the CEO. Take a listen.
I don't know why this freaking video and audio is just like raw Scott Bessent.
So President Trump went on Truth Social and says Walmart should eat the tariffs. In other words, not pass on the prices
Jake Tapper, what a little dirtball.
to consumers. Doesn't that inherently serve as an acknowledgement that tariffs are essentially a tax on consumers? Because initially President Trump said, well, other countries, that's not true. Countries pay for the tariffs. But here we have a perfect example. China gets these tariffs, and then Walmart has to raise its prices, and consumers end up paying for them.
Well, Jake, in essence, what you're saying is taxes are inflationary, so let's pass the Trump tax cuts, and that'll be disinflationary if we continue that line of thinking.
I don't know that you can put me on as endorsing anything, but go ahead.
Let's just keep everything consistent. I did speak to Doug McMillon, who I have a very good relationship, yesterday, just to understand what he had to say. And understand that came from an earnings call. On an earnings call, because of SEC requirements, they have to give the most draconian case. So Walmart will be absorbing some of the tariffs. Some may get passed on to consumers. But the other thing that's happening is that inflation is down. We had the first drop in inflation in 4 years under President Trump. The other thing that Doug mentioned to me is for his consumers, for his buyers, the most important thing are gasoline prices. And this administration has gotten gasoline prices down. Service prices are down. So overall, I would expect inflation to remain in line. But I don't blame consumers for being skittish after what happened to them 4 years under Biden. We had the worst inflation in 40 years.
So ever since Liberation Day, April 2nd, I have a weekday show called The Lead. And ever since then, every day pretty much, we interview a small business owner. Some of them are Trump supporters, some of them are not, some of them are tariff supporters, some of them are not. The one thing I hear from almost every one of them is the uncertainty. They don't know how to plan for the future because they have no idea what's going to come. The other thing I hear is that their margins, these are small business, their margins are so thin, 5 to 10% max. And they say that these tariffs are just taking away all of their profit margin. So I guess my question is, what do you say to people concerned about the uncertainty? And what do you say to people who say, small business owners who say, we need relief because as much they
How true? Businesses with 5 to 10% profit margins? That doesn't sound right to me. Come on, CNN.
say, like, I'd love to buy lithium batteries in the United States, but you can't. They're only available for small businesses from China.
Well, couple of things to unpack there, Jake. One,
Let's ask ChatGPT. What is the average and median profit margin for small businesses in the USA? Oh wow, I guess he was right. Average net profit margin 7 to 10%, median net profit margin 6 to 8%. Dude, these seem extremely low. Okay, so for example, this one says industry legal 15 to 20%. I know for a fact there's lots of law firms that have 50% profit margins. Huh, really bizarre. I did not know that profit margins were that low.
is that we didn't get her overnight in
Yo, My Crystal Clear Life, what's up? Shipping lithium batteries just can't happen, at least here in Hawaii. Wait, why?
terms of this terrible trade situation we have with China, but also with the rest of the world. And President Trump is renegotiating these, and it was strategic uncertainty.
If it's short, I'll check it out, Eric, if it's
is
short.
a negotiating tactic. So if we were to give too much certainty to the other countries,
That's weird.
then
That's weird,
they
Mike
would
Crystal.
play us into negotiations. I am confident that at the ends of these negotiations, both the retailers, the American people, and the American workers will be better off. That what we saw with China was the only country post April 2nd to escalate. So both sides escalated. We got to an untenable level. We were at 145%, they were at 125, and we had a meeting in Geneva last weekend, and both sides came down 115%. So the U.S. is now at 30. A 10% reciprocal tariff that's on a pause, and 20% fentanyl tariffs, those were put on back in February. So those are already in the system. So I think most of the small businesses you're talking to, they were probably referring to the very high triple-digit tariff levels, which have now been brought down.
Yes, some of them were, but there's also just this idea, a lot of them saying, look, I support what President Trump wants to do. I support the idea of wanting to bring manufacturing back to the United States, but it can't be done in a month or 3 months or even a year. That there's just an entire infrastructure in this country that is lacking. They can't buy what they would love to buy. Most of them, as you know, if not all of them, are patriotic. They want to buy American goods. But a lot of this stuff just isn't made in America. I mean, we could go into a long history about the hollowing out of the manufacturing base that is neither the fault of you, me, or President Trump. But it does exist, and it will take years to make the manufacturing infrastructure that these small businesses rely on.
Well, Jake, I think what we're going to see, just like we saw with the UK trade deal, my sense is it's what we'll see with China. We don't want to decouple with China, and President Trump actually wants to open up China for business. So the manufacturing we want to bring back, we had during COVID, we realized that we had some very strategic shortfalls, whether it was medicines, semiconductors, steel, the other products. So the medium-term goal is to bring back these strategic industries as quickly as possible. And I think we will continue trading with China in the kinds of products that these small businesses are talking about at lower tariff levels.
Before you go, you joined President Trump on his Mideast trip, and he's been defending from criticism from both liberals and conservatives to accept this $400 million luxury jet as a gift from Qatar to use for the duration of his presidency. And then I believe for his presidential library, Trump says he's giving it to him as a nice gesture. You're a hard-nosed businessman. Even if Qatar isn't asking for anything in return now for the jet, I mean, that's a bill that could...
Jake Tapper, you're a hard-nosed businessman. I am? Really?
come to. Nobody in the Middle East gives things just to, or in anywhere in the world, just gives a $400 million jet just to be nice.
Well, I don't know, Jake. The French gave us the Statue of Liberty. The British gave us the Resolute desk. I'm not sure they asked for anything in advance. And the more important airplane deal was there's $100 billion of orders from Qatari Airlines to Boeing. Kelly Ortberg, the CEO of Boeing, was with us in the Middle East. This is the biggest order in the company's history. So, I think that plane deal is much more important than this other one.
Well, I will just say about the Statue of Liberty, I mean, that was authorized by Congress, and it belongs to the American people. It doesn't belong to whoever was president at the time.
Well, I think that this plane would be a gift to the American government.
Now is Secretary of State Marco Rubio from Rome. Mr. Secretary, you've had a very busy week. I know you have been at the Vatican, and they have offered to host a direct meeting between Ukraine and Russia. Given that Vladimir Putin was a no-show at the talks he called for in Istanbul this past week, is there reason to believe that he will take up Pope Leo on the offer?
Well, I think if you saw, again, I'm not the spokesperson for the Kremlin, but if you saw their statements, I believe yesterday, where they said that they would be open to such a meeting under the right conditions. So we'll wait and see if that's possible. Obviously, the Vatican has made a very generous offer to host anything, by the way, not just a meeting between Zelensky and Putin, but any meeting, including at a technical level. Any meetings that need to be hosted, they've expressed a willingness to do so. So it's a very generous offer that may be taken up on. I mean, it would be a site that all parties would feel comfortable. So hopefully we'll get to that stage where talks are happening on a regular basis, and that the Vatican will have the opportunity to be one of the options.
The Russian Foreign Ministry is saying that you initiated a call to your Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, on Saturday. What was that about? Are you talking about lining up that face-to-face meeting between President Putin and President Trump?
Well, we talked about a variety of things. We did talk about, I wanted to get his readout on his view of how the talks went yesterday. They were not a complete waste of time. For example, there were 1,000 prisoners that are going to be exchanged, and that from a humanitarian standpoint is very positive. He explained to me that they are going to be preparing a document outlining their requirements for a ceasefire that would then lead to broader negotiations. So obviously the Ukrainian side is going to be working on their own proposal, and hopefully that'll be forthcoming soon. And if that does happen, and the proposal that comes forward from the Russian side, and for that matter from the Ukrainian side, are proposals that are serious and viable, then there's been real progress, and we can work off of that. So we'll have to wait and see. But he wanted me to know, and he communicated in our call, that their side will be working on a series of ideas and requirements that they would have in order to move forward with a ceasefire and further negotiations. So we'll await that, and hopefully it's a document that is close enough to what the Ukrainians want to be able to get to that point and maybe work out those differences.
You've said repeatedly it's just a matter of days, though, in terms of the waning patience that the U.S. has for this diplomacy to succeed. So are they just tapping you along as...
Panzer, what's up? I love how the fake news is reacting to these announcements about Biden's cognition with such surprise. Oh, it's still just gaslighting, right? They're still lying about everything. They're still being fraudulent.
President Trump has said, are they just seeking to talk? Are they just seeking to continue to talk to buy time?
Well, that's what we're testing, and that's what we'll know. Look, at the end of the day, what I've said, and it's happening now, we're no longer flying all over the world trying to set up meetings. We're responding to meetings that are set up, and we always said we're willing to do whatever it takes to bring them together if the opportunities present themselves. So I think your question is, are they tapping us along? Well, that's what we're trying to find out. We'll find out pretty soon. They met yesterday or the day before in Turkey. From that, they agreed they're going to exchange paper on ideas to get to a ceasefire. If those papers have ideas on them that are realistic and rational, then I think we know we've made progress. If those papers, on the other hand, have requirements in them that we know are unrealistic, then we'll have a different assessment. So we're going to try to find that out. And there's a combination here. On the one hand, we're trying to achieve peace and end a very bloody, costly, and destructive war. So there's some element of patience that is
Dude, I just told, ChatGPT just told me to avoid sun tea, brewing tea in the sun. It can promote bacterial growth. I said, that's BS about sun tea. I love sun tea. Totally fair. Sun TV is a classic. Oh, blah, blah, blah. The concern of bacteria comes from the fact that water temp in sun tea rarely gets hot enough to kill off microbes, but plenty of people make it all the time with no problems. Start with clean equipment, filtered water, use a clear glass jar, use 4 to 6 bags. Brew in a direct sunlight, refrigerate immediately, drink within 2 to 3 days max, avoid adding sugar or fruit. People are so Americans are so silly and worried. People are so worried about stuff. Oh my gosh, there might be bacteria in your tea, in your sun tea.
required. On the other hand, we don't have time to waste. There are a lot of other things happening in the world that we also need to be paying attention to. So we don't want to be involved in this process of just...
Miss Foxy, RFK voice, sewage water workout, blue jeans, red 40, gargle, surgeon, general health screen.
endless talks. There has to be some progress, some movement forward. And if at the end of this, in the next few days, we get a document produced by both sides and it shows that both sides are making concessions and being realistic and rational in their approach, then I think we can feel good about continuing to remain engaged. If, on the other hand, what we see is not very productive, perhaps we'll have a different assessment. I also agree that ultimately one of the things that could help break this logjam, perhaps the only thing that can, is a direct conversation between President Trump and Vladimir Putin. And he's already openly expressed a desire and a belief that that needs to happen. And hopefully that'll be worked out soon as well.
You're planning on that?
Well, I don't know. We're certainly made the offer. The president's made that offer already publicly. The mechanics of setting that kind of meeting up would require a little bit of work. So I can't say that's being planned as we speak in terms of picking a site and a date. But the president wants to do it. He wants to do it as soon as feasible. I think the Russian side has also expressed a willingness to do it. And so now it's just a question of bringing everyone together and figuring out where and when and that meeting will happen and what it'll be about.
Yeah, I want to move on to other topics, but lastly, your former Senate colleague Lindsey Graham was next to you in that meeting with the Ukrainian foreign minister. He has a veto-proof majority on this bill to put sanctions on Russia. How quickly do you want the option for more sanctions on Russia, or are you asking him to wait?
No, we're not. Look, the Senate is going to act ultimately. I mean, I think in the past we've acted to give us a little time to see if we can make some progress on our talks. But we've also been pretty clear with the Russian side for weeks now, going back 6 or 7 weeks. We've been communicating.
Yeah, they really are. They really are fair questions, Panzer. And Marco Rubio's knocking it out of the park. Marco Rubio is a rock star member of the Trump administration. He's doing a great job.
To the Russian side that this effort was being undertaken, that we anticipated that when all was said and done, it would have close to 80 co-sponsors in the Senate, and I imagine a comparable percentage of support in the House, that was an effort we couldn't stop and don't control, that ultimately Congress, and in particular the Republicans in the House and Senate, have tried to give the president space and time to negotiate something here. But we've advised the Russians repeatedly now for almost 2 months that this was coming if no progress was made. So I think that's just coming to fruition now, and it's one of the things that I confirmed again, being with Lindsey Graham this week in Turkey, is they're now up to 77. He thinks they could get close to 80 or more, and that's just a fact, and something we've told the Russians about for weeks was coming.
I want to move on to another part of the world. You've been very involved in the administration's efforts to crack down on this Venezuelan gang, TDA. That has been designated as a terror group by the U.S. Do you accept the intelligence community's assessment that the Venezuelan gang is not a proxy force of the Maduro government? That was the National Intelligence Council assessment.
Yeah, that's their assessment. They're wrong. In fact, the FBI agrees with me that they are. The FBI agrees that not only is Tren de Aragua exported by the Venezuelan regime. But in fact, if you go back and see, a Trinidad Agua member, all the evidence is there and it's growing every day, was actually contracted to murder an opposition member, I believe in Chile, a few months ago. So one of the warnings out there by the FBI is not simply that Trinidad Agua are a terrorist organization, but one that has already been operationalized to murder an opposition member in another country.
But that's a different thing than being a proxy force controlled by the Maduro government. Part of this is at the heart of the legal arguments the administration is having over its ability to continue to deport suspected gang members.
All right, let me work on a couple more clips. Might as well get some clips up here while I can. I set up Hammer with the one-on-one. I just got 2 kills. Can Hammer pull off the one-on-one? Oh, misses his shot. Pulls out the pistol. Oh, the other guy misses his shot too. Hammer Time pulls it off. Holy cow. Can you find the bomb? Can you find the bomb? Oh, these are all my Hammer Time casting clips. These are going to be fun. Single door. Oh, Hammer Time gets the... Hammer Time got the kill and the defuse. Oh, round 1 by Hammer Time. Single door. Single door. Oh, these are fun, man. These are fun. Is Hammer Time on right now? What are my friends playing? CS2, The Hunter, Call of the Wild, Knights and Merchants, War Thunder, Cubic Odyssey. What the hell is Cubic Odyssey? Black Myth, Scorn, Red Dead, Precinct. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Oh, nice. Oh, that was great. Oh, Hammer Time with the double kill, with the double. Can he pull it off? Oh, can he pull it off? Hammer Time has 2. Oh, he doesn't have a kid. He's got 9 seconds. Oh, he gets the... Oh, baby. What a kill. What a kill. Gets the defuse. That was bad. That was bad. I'm so bad at casting, but it is so funny. It's so funny when you try to get like hyped up for it too. Yo, Freedom Fan, what's up? What are you doing streaming at 2 a.m.? Dude, Freedom Fan, I got my sleeping pattern a little bit messed up. Oh, nice. Oh, that was great. I got a messed up sleeping schedule right now. It's all the only way I can answer that. Nice job, nice job. Oh, Hammer Time switches weapons, picks up the M4. It's a 3v2. Hammer Time's teammates getting the plant down on A site here on Inferno. Hammer Time into a little cubbyhole off off angle here for Hammer Time. Oh, sees the guy. Oh, gets the spray down and on. Okay, that was a little bit better. That I had that notification. It was like, Freedom Fan, I think I gone to the real answer is Freedom Fan. Like yesterday, I took a nap. I've already taken a nap today as well, but yesterday I took a nap, and so I took a couple-hour nap, so I'd already slept quite a bit, and so then I'm going to bed early at like 8 p.m. And so it's like I was already pretty well rested from my nap, and I went to bed at 8 p.m. So, dude, by 1:30, 2 a.m., I was up. I was up. I was like trying to cast. I was trying to cast for my friend. It was pretty fun. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, hammer time. Now it's a 1v2. It's a 1v2. This was a save round. Oh, hammer time's got the drop. He's got the drop on him. Oh my! How did you not have any rounds? Oh man, I want to play some more with Hammer Time and try to cast him. Actually, I want to just watch Hammer Time play and just cast him. Just for the freaking clips. Check out my Freedom Fan. Check out my analytics. My YouTube analytics. I'll show you. I'll share my YouTube analytics with you. Oh, here, let me share my screen better. Here's my YouTube analytics. See, I'm popping on views right now. I'm up to almost 1,400 views here this hour. I'm at 127,000 views for the last 28 days. 337 watch time hours for the last 28 days. Adding 13 subs over the last 13. Estimated revenue $15.56 over the last 28 days. So that's pretty good. I mean, actually, the highest I've ever had it for 30 days has been like $50. But right now it's 15 because I haven't been putting up clips like this or really adding or making vlogs or anything like that. But still, $15. I mean, that's 50 cents a day. It's better than nothing. Oh yeah, I'm well versed in naps and the damage they can cause. Mixed naps with depression, and you won't have that problem. Oh, I believe it. Nice people like the hyped casting of CS2. I mean, I don't think anybody really likes it, no. I just like doing it. All right, that's plenty.
That's why this assessment is so key. You completely reject that intelligence community finding?
Yeah, I agree 100% with the FBI's finding. This is a prison gang that the Venezuelan government has actively encouraged to leave the country.
Right on, Freedom.
A prison gang that in some cases they've been in cooperation with. And by the way, Trinidad Agua members that have been returned to Venezuela on some of these planes that have gone back have been greeted like heroes at the airport. So we have no doubt, I have no doubt, and the FBI's made clear.
Frick, man, I need to go do yard work too. Ugh.
I mean, this is the gang that they hired in order to murder an opposition member in another country. So there's no doubt in our mind and in my mind and in the FBI's assessment that this is a group that the regime in Venezuela uses, not just to try to destabilize the United States, but to project power like they did by murdering a member of the opposition in Chile.
South Africa's president is traveling to the United States this week to meet with President Trump. The administration has prioritized bringing some white South Africans, Afrikaners, to the United States despite the increased restrictions on refugees. President Trump claims there's a genocide underway in South Africa. That's a legal determination. The State Department would make it. Are you trying to determine that now?
I will determine that these people are having their properties taken from them. They can call it whatever they want, but these are people that on the basis of their race are having their properties taken away from them and their lives being threatened and in some cases killed. These are people that applied and made these claims in their applications and seek to come to the United States in search of refuge. We've often been lectured by people all over.
Joining us now, Speaker Mike Johnson. Good to have you back, Speaker.
Hey, Shannon, great to see you again.
Okay, so House Budget Committee, the vote failed on Friday. They're back at it at 10 p.m. tonight. You heard what Maddie said, part of the president's posting on Friday. We don't need grandstanders in the Republican Party. Stop talking and get it done. But you got to be talking with them to turn some of those no's to yeses. How are those conversations going?
They're going well, Shannon. We're on track, working around the clock to deliver this nation-shaping legislation for the American people as soon as possible. Look, all 11 of our committees have wrapped up their work, and they spent less and saved more than even we projected initially. This really is once-in-a-generation opportunity that we have here. So you heard there the update. The Budget Committee will reconvene this evening. They'll get that through the committee, and the plan is to move it to the Rules Committee by midweek and to the House floor by the end of the week, so we meet our original Memorial Day deadline. Now, look, Shannon, it's very important for everybody to understand why we're being so aggressive on the timetable and why this really is so important. This is the vehicle through which we will deliver on the mandate that the American people gave us in the last election. You're going to have historic savings for the American people, historic tax relief for American workers, historic investments in border security, at the same time that we're restoring American energy dominance. And
there he goes, using that word investments for spending. It's like, dude, I'm just stop calling government spending investments. Oh, I'm just so sick of it. It's not an investment. It's spending.
Rebuilding the defense industrial base, and we're ensuring that programs like Medicaid and SNAP are strengthened for the U.S. citizens who need and deserve them, and not being squandered away by illegal aliens and persons who are ineligible to receive them and are cheating the system. And look, the tax cuts, is critical. We're going to make the 2017 tax cuts permanent. We're going to eliminate taxes on overtime and tips, as the president promised. New tax relief for
yeah, American Patriot. It's like, that's like me, like, oh, I'm gonna buy some new video games. I'm investing. I invested in the latest video games. It's like, no, not everything's an investment. Investments are actual specific things that have meanings. Like, every time the government spends money, it's not an investment. Every time you put money into your car, it's not an investment. Every time I put money into my hobbies, it's not an investment. Golly. Every time I go to the grocery store and buy groceries, it's not an investment.
Seniors on Social Security, and we're going to cut taxes on job creators, so that will help everybody across the country at the same time as incentivizing American-made production and manufacturing.
If you're actually, yeah, American Patriot, you're right. If you're spending the money, American Patriot, into your car for the purpose of earning a return on your money and making a profit, if that's the purpose, then yes, that would be an investment. But that's not why you're doing it. You're not doing it for the purpose of earning a return on your money. You're doing it because you love cars.
Manufacturing. This is a big thing. We cannot fail, and we'll get it done for the American people.
Okay, I want to break down a few of those things, but let's start on the issue of spending, because some of your members are not buying it.
Yes, Eric. Now, giving me bits on Twitch and subbing to me on Twitch, that's an investment for you guys, yes, because you will get a return on that in knowledge that's profitable. Just kidding, it's not. It's still spending. But yeah, I'm down for it.
Chip Roy is one of those who's called this phony math. I want to play a couple of things. This is from Ralph Norman and also Chip Roy. They don't think you're serious about cutting spending, at least not in this measure.
Well, all I'm telling you is there's a growing number of us who, we don't like smoke and mirrors. We want real cuts. That's what we agreed to.
We are writing checks we cannot cash, and our children are going to pay the price. Something needs to change, or you're not going to get my support.
Okay, so some of these members, and they were both no votes in that budget committee, they'll be back at it tonight. They think it's gimmicks. They say they're getting perks now and pain later. How do you respond?
Well, look, I appreciate Chip and Ralph. They're good friends. We've had lots of conversations. We'll have more today. What they were complaining about, or mostly concerned about, I think, is, for example, work requirements in Medicaid. They wanted them to be implemented earlier rather than later. Well, so do we. The concern is what we're trying to work with is the ability of the states to retool their systems and ensure the verification processes to make sure that all the new laws and all the new safeguards that we're placing can actually be enforced. And so we're working through all those details, and we'll get it done. But I tell you what, this is the largest spending reduction in at least 3 decades, probably longer. It's historic. Russ Vought is the director of the Office of Management and Budget, of course.
How are they saying that there's massive spending cuts, historic spending cuts, and yet it does nothing? Like, still doesn't balance the budget. It actually, the CBO is saying it adds trillions to the debt. How's he saying these? I don't get that. Like, again, this sounds like smoke and mirrors to me.
In the Trump administration, and he's made the point this is historic, as have nearly 500 organizations across the conservative spectrum, Shannon, fiscally responsible groups, and those who believe that we've got to turn the tide in spending. We are. This is our opportunity to do it. It's a once-generation, as I said, and we can't squander it.
Okay, so to the point about Medicaid and the work requirements and the delays on those, again, Ralph Norman speaking out on this, saying delaying work requirements for able-bodied adults on Medicaid to 2029 isn't progress. He calls it fiscally irresponsible and another sad excuse for the swamp. Why delay those requirements? And listen, you've got the whole objection from Democrats who say you're going to leave people without health care because of cuts to Medicaid. But what about this piece of the puzzle with respect to work requirements for able-bodied?
Look, Ralph and I agree, as does every Republican in Congress, House and Senate. Work requirements is a no-brainer. It's like a 90% issue on polling. Able-bodied adults who can work should work. It's
So
good
why
for
delay it?
Their own purpose and dignity. Well, as I said, some of the states have, it takes them some time, we've learned in this process, to change their systems and to make sure that these stringent requirements that we will put on that to eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse can actually be implemented. So we're working with them to make sure what the earliest possible date is to put into law something that will actually be useful. I think we've got to compromise on that. I think we'll work it out. But I can tell you, all of us agree with Ralph. I do, of course. That's why we're putting it in the legislation. But the point about the Democrats is important. Remember, they're going to. We don't expect a single Democrat to vote for this package, which means that they will be on record apparently supporting the largest tax increase in U.S. history, which is what will happen by default after the end of this year if we do not get this job done. We have to accomplish this mission, and we will. And I think it's going to be good for everybody, for the American economy. I think it's going to send a very important message of stability to the stock market and the bond markets, and as I mentioned, to job creators and entrepreneurs and risk takers who want to expand their businesses and add more jobs and increase wages. This will be the pro-growth economy that we have been waiting for and that the American people voted for. We're going to deliver on this, and we'll get everybody in line to do it.
Okay, you may in the House eventually get there. I know your goal is Memorial Day, but what about when you get to the Senate? You've got Senator Ron Johnson over there calling this the Titanic. He says it's going to sink, says he's got enough colleagues over there who believe that you should go back to pre-pandemic spending levels. How tough is the reconciliation going to be with the Senate?
Look, we've been in close coordination with the Senate.
We begin this Sunday
for
morning with
the entirety of the time that we've been working on this. We started working on this in March of last year, Shannon, so this is more than a year's worth of effort. I meet regularly with Leader Thune. John and I have become close friends in all this process, and we're coordinating carefully. The committee chairman in the House and the Senate and the corresponding committees have been in constant dialogue. Their staffs in constant dialogue, so there's no surprises. The package that we send over there will be one that was very carefully negotiated and delicately balanced, and we hope that they don't make many modifications to it, because that will ensure its passage quickly. Remember, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that we need to do this by July 4th. Remember, also included in this package is a solution to the debt limit that is coming upon us, the cliff. We've got to get this done and get it to the president's desk by that big celebration on Independence Day. And I am convinced that we can, Shannon.
All right, quickly I want to ask you about Moody's on Friday. For the first time in a century, they downgraded the U.S. government's AAA rating. They say an increase in government debt and interest payment ratios, quote, that are significantly higher than similarly rated sovereigns. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says it should be a wake-up call to your party. He says you're hell-bent on a multi-trillion-dollar tax cut for the ultra-wealthy. Your response?
It's just utter nonsense. It's just like Chuck Schumer to create a crisis and then point fingers of blame. This is the Biden spending spree that got us in this mess.
Yeah, good question, American Patriot. Apparently they're worried about, well, a couple of things, American Patriot. Number one, they don't see a reason to cut interest rates because there's not much unemployment. They look to unemployment. So why would they cut interest rates when there's not a lot of unemployment? Number two is they're worried about inflation going back up if they do. So that's why they're not cutting rates right now.
Moody's is not incorrect, but that's why that emphasizes the very need for the legislation we're talking about, historic spending cuts. I mean, this will help to change the trajectory for the U.S. economy and send that message of stability to our allies and even our enemies around the world. America is back. President Trump's one big beautiful bill will be passed, and that will be the key to turning this thing around. We have to get this done, and it just shows more of the urgency of why we're doing exactly what we're doing with the legislation.
Well, a rare 10 p.m. Session here for the House Budget Committee tonight. We'll watch that closely. Speaker, we always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.
Hey, it's Will. Increasing calls to investigate and possibly arrest Jim Comey after the former FBI director posted an image on social media suggesting a call to assassinate President Trump. Comey was interviewed by the Secret Service on Friday and is now facing a string of federal probes after he posted an image of a beach scene with seashells arranged in the numbers 8647, writing this: "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." The number 86 typically refers to elimination, and President Trump is, of course, the 47th president. After much public outcry on social media, Comey took down the post, claiming he was not aware that 86 refers to eliminating something and that he opposes violence. There have already been 2 assassination attempts on President Trump's life, which are still under investigation by the FBI. After the incident, new FBI Director Kash Patel told me he is in the middle of an active investigation into this matter. Days earlier, the two walked us through Comey's weaponization of the FBI, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, as well as some of the other important cases that they are working on, including drug and human trafficking cells operating in America today, the events of January 6th, and Jeffrey Epstein's death. But the director began by praising his 30,000-plus colleagues at the FBI during this National Police Week.
It's Police Week, Maria, and so it's a really momentous occasion for law enforcement, for the sacrifices they put in for the country. The deputy and I have been going to events all week, and the most painful part is being with the families of the fallen. But we're here to remind America that there's a consequence to the freedom that they have, and there's good men and women that keep stepping up for that fight. So, it's a big deal that you're here on Police Week.
Thank you. And I saw the honor wall, and I want to walk past that with you. I unfortunately was on Wall Street on 9/11, and my heart goes out to the families who've lost their loved ones. Dan?
Yeah, 9/11. I was an agent on 9/11 with the Secret Service, and I just remember, as you probably do, even from the media perspective, the chaos. Remember, nothing worked like we thought it was going to work. So the director and I, we've both been deeply inspired, obviously, as everyone in America was, by tragic, horrible incident. But I know when Kash and I are sitting there in the morning, that is the single motivating factor for us, is keep the homeland safe. That is priority number one.
And I want to ask you about that. Now, I'll go into some of the specifics. But, Director, you've said many times that the FBI has been politicized. Mm-hmm. So what are your plans to rebuild trust in this fine institution and depoliticize the FBI?
So we have a multi-part process. First of all, our priorities: simple, crush violent crime, defend the homeland, rigorous organizational accountability, and the fourth, which leads directly to your question, aggressive constitutional oversight with Congress. The way we rebuild trust is we already have the men and women here in the rank and file that signed up to be cops, that signed up to be intel analysts, that signed up to be special support staff, that want to do the work. That's why we're sending them into the field. We can talk about that later. What we need America to know is that this place was politicized, and Congress has rightfully requested the documents from Crossfire Hurricane to January 6th to the Richmond Catholic Memo and so much more. But now finally Americans are reading for themselves the documentation where a very select few leaders in the former FBI decided to politicize it. We don't need me and the deputy telling you it's politicized. We want the American people to read it, and now they are.
And I know I lived with it for you. I watched it with you and Devin Nunes when you were truth tellers on all of this, and you were as well, Dan, throughout the Russia collusion story and the rest.
Look, I can speak to the folks that were in our seats, our predecessors, and they intentionally failed the American public by putting on the biggest DC deception game we've ever seen. They said the FBI was the most storied institution for law enforcement, and it was. And it will be again very soon. But when the likes of Comey and McCabe and Strzok and company came in here with the James Bakers of the world and intentionally lied to a federal court only to rig a presidential election by lying to the American public and using taxpayer dollars, likely illegally, to fund this entire operation, and then withhold exculpatory information from a federal court that I used to appear before to manhunt terrorists, that's what broke the FBI. And then when they were caught, they lied about it. And you and a few others like Dan and others were brave enough to cover it 6, 7, 8 years ago. And we're still talking about it today because as Congress is working rigorously with us, the Crossfire Hurricane documents are coming fast and hard. And they're being sent there unredacted so we can have full accountability. And that's how you restore what the trust that was lost to the American public when it comes to the FBI.
Yeah, but come on, Director, with all due respect, we've been talking about this for a long time, and I've been demanding accountability for many, many years. You mentioned Comey, Strzok, and the rest. They've got TV shows. They've got media platforms. They're fine. There's been no accountability.
Well, look, it's a fair criticism, but what I will tell people is we weren't here in the FBI in the last 5 years when we had statute of limitations that were still in play, where we could have investigated criminal conduct. Most of these statute of limitations are 5 years old. And we will investigate criminal conduct where we find a righteous case to do so, and the law and the facts allow us to. But a lot of it we're precluded from. So we'll take the criticism, and it's rightfully so, that could we have done more in the past? Sure, people before us could have. But what we can do now is continue to put out the documents and the information that these people withheld from the American public. And I'm just telling you right now, as much as we know about Crossfire Hurricane, he and I just found out more last week. And we're continuing to work with Congress to put those documents out. That's how vindictive and vicious the former leadership structure here was. Not only did they bastardize the FISA process and lie to the American public, they withheld and hid documentation and put it in rooms where people weren't supposed to look. And it's a good thing we're here now to clean it up, and you're about to see a wave of transparency.
What do you mean?
Just give us about a week or two.
Okay. Well, I can tell you right now that the judge that gave a smack on the wrist on the one agent that lied and, misled the American people, that's the same judge who's back and stopping Donald Trump from doing things, isn't it? Judge Boasberg?
Yeah, I just got to push back. Listen, we've been here 2 months. He's been here a couple more weeks than that. I mean, we've been here 2 months. You're dealing with a 38,000 member organization and an approximately $12 billion budget.
Fair point.
Where to expect us in 2 months to dig up what was a 8-year, maybe longer, multi-year politicized investigation with multiple layers of processes, from Woods procedures being just thrown in the garbage can and flushed down the toilet bowl, to multiple layers of accountability where people lied and obfuscated. I'm not asking you to trust me. You want this done right or you want it done quickly? Because you can't have it both ways. You want it done quickly, we'll do it. And you know what'll happen? Just what happened last time. Those same Spygate collusion perpetrators sued the government, got money, got all this. You want that? We'll do it. We'll do it quickly and do it wrong.
But are you saying you found things that even you didn't know about? I mean, you were at the core of this.
Yes. Yes. I was the lead Russiagate investigator for the House Intelligence Committee. And I've been on both your shows in a prior life talking about it. And I'm telling you and the American public that we have now found material and information and people who wanted to hide it from the world since we got in these seats. And we, as the deputy said, we are trying to do it in a fashion where not only are we informing the American public of what happened, but we can have accountability for it. And that takes a little bit more time. And when you layer on the fact that we are rolling out our priorities on violent crime and defending the homeland, we're running a 3-part animal here, and we're going 100 miles an hour on each single one.
So important.
Wait, I want to add to that, too, because what the director's saying is right. You got to remember, when we come in the morning, there's a portfolio of 100 level 10 items. If it's a level 9, which is a pretty big freaking deal, someone else fixed it. The only thing that gets to my desk or his is a level 10. That's the entire day. Look at his schedule any given day. I'll show you the palm card I have. It is filled from 7:30 to he leaves 7 at night, 6:30 at night. It's filled all day. We just can't focus on one thing. You want New York to go boom? DC to go boom? You want an OC organization to go hack into some cyber network and crack all of Fox News' holdings? We're dealing with all that stuff, too. Everything's a priority. Everything's a priority. This is one of many things we're doing. It's not an excuse. It's just reality.
Now, the Democrats are turning on you, right? I mean, I saw your hearing the other day, and critics have accused you of using the FBI to target political enemies. So set the record straight. You wrote an entire book about it, Government Gangsters. Tell us, how do you respond to the attacks?
Very simply, the FBI's prior leadership left us an institution, that is a police force for America and the world, that allowed a fentanyl overdose to occur and kill an American citizen every 7 minutes. That prior FBI leadership, Comey, McCabe, left us an FBI that allowed for a woman or child to be raped every 6.5 minutes in this country. That same leadership structure left us an FBI that permitted a man or woman to be killed twice an hour in this country. That's our response to them. When I go to Congress and I go to the Hill, I say, hey, I'm not policing your neighborhood because it's a Republican or Democratic. I'm asking you for help on what your priorities are and what your resources needs are and where you need training, and we're going to send them to you. That's why we're putting 1,500 FBI employees into the field and outside of Washington, D.C. Now, if the Democrats want to play politics with that, they're the elected officials. They get to.
All right, we're going to watch this later. I'm going to play some games for now and take a little break from that. We'll play a match of CS first. Man, there's this new Mexican restaurant here in Billings that does street tacos. I've had them DoorDashed here a couple of times. So freaking good. I may just have to do it again today.
Let's roll.
Here goes nothing, boys. Here goes nothing. Interesting Sunday shows. I mean, the Trump administration is doing a whole bunch of stuff, and everybody wants to hear about the Trump administration. So... it's all sort of, and the Trump administration says, hey, we're working on all this stuff. So it's like, okay, all right. Uh-oh, we got a 4-stack with no rank.
Let's roll. Throwing fire. Flashbang. Grab your gear, let's go.
Wait, 2B, 1 me. I'm going B. Okay.
Crazy, we're playing no ranks. 4 no ranks.
These fellas are gonna regret waking up this morning.
Let's go orange. Coming B. They're coming B.
Oh, timeout. We got an AFK. We got an AFK.
Nice bug.
F1, F1, F1. how'd we lose B? How'd we lose B?
Roger that. Be careful. Let's all make it home today.
What's me here? What's up, man? Flash B. Coming B again. B, 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 B. B, B. He's right outside.
Oh! I thought he was right outside that door to the right. Pretty good save round, but
Terrorists win.
looking at an 85-pound bow I might buy. It looks pretty good. Heck yeah. How much is it? How much is it, American Patriot? Tell me that one. Tell me that one.
Go, go, go.
$230. It's not cheap.
On top. Counter-terrorists win. Get right on. Get right on.
Yo, why do you keep asking for boosts everywhere? You can just jump up to these places. Not on B side, bro.
Here, I'll boost you. I'll boost you B site, and then I'll fall back.
Oh, B side, my bad.
Right along.
Tom it.
Deploying flashbang. Fire. Throwing smoke. Flashbang.
I'm too lower. Bombs connector.
Counter-terrorists win. There you go.
Oh, I got it. Oh, that was so close. I didn't know where it was.
Sure.
They're going out west, they will never
I was hoping I could get that lemon seed out of my iced tea, and I was able to. I'm pounding the iced tea. Iced tea. Welcome to the iced tea stream. Welcome to the iced tea fan stream. Well, they now definitely think I'm gonna be get a W. Oh my gosh! Hammer time! Hammer time! I meant to text you. Hammer time! Have you seen my YouTube shorts or my Instagram shorts? Oh my gosh! You've got to. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Which one of these are good? Oh, I got your triple kill. I got your triple kill. I got your DPS. Yeah, dude, you gotta go watch go to my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube. Hey, Hammer Time, do it on YouTube so I get ad rev. Please, Hammer Time, do it on YouTube so I get ad rev. Hammer Time, go watch my YouTube shorts. Please, go watch my latest YouTube shorts. They're all Hammer Time. They're all Hammer Time. Because I don't get ad rev on Instagram.
Let's move out. Down slowly.
Palace.
Boom! Got a double. Is this the first game of the day? Yeah, pretty much. Nice job, dude.
He's pretty lit up.
Pistol and pistol. Nice.
Bomb. Nice.
Yeah, check it out, Hammer Time. Go watch it. They're like 30 seconds each. There's like 5 or 6 of them. They're 30 seconds each. You're gonna love it.
Let's go. Fire. Grenade. Deploying flashbang.
We got zombie.
Oh, I had the aim down. I just.
And apartment.
Nice. At least I got one there.
2 left. Bucket.
Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. Let's go.
Thank you, thank you.
One aim in. Just one.
Oh, I got an Instagram notification. Somebody liked my reel. Somebody liked my reel on Insta.
Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
How did I? Oh, I got 2 kills, 140 damage. Come on, guys. Do you guys want to save one here in 5-man rush A main?
Roger that.
Okay,
Yeah,
hard
let's do that.
hard save 5-man rush A main.
We have an option 8 stack.
What on? Grenade out. Terrorists win.
Oh man, good try, good try. That would have been great for a nade stack.
Yeah.
I think they're coming A again. They're having success A, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were
Scooby.
dead.
What up, Scooby?
Let's that. Smoke.
Cat. One B. Barely.
Bomb has been planted. Throwing flashbang. Throwing fire.
What?
I don't know how that didn't kill him, honestly. That's fucked up.
What? Yeah. That was whack.
What'd you hit him for?
78 and 3.
Wow.
Grab him here. Let's go.
We just need to get maybe one or two sets.
Flashbang.
Fucking kidding.
Holy crap.
They're so fast.
Seriously. My gosh, this guy.
2 mid. Connector bit.
Bomb has been planted.
Hammer Time, you were watching the shorts, right? You were watching the shorts, the little reels, right? Hammer Time? How many of them did you see?
Terrorists win.
Some dubs and some losses caught in 4K, all of them. Aren't those hilarious? Aren't those freaking... Did you like how I was like trying to cast? Oh man, I thought some of those were so funny.
Gear up. We aren't going on a windy walk here. Throwing fire. Flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Throwing a grenade.
One more A mid. Bomb's A. Some.
Oh, what? Where's my teammate? Definitely a good time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be a hard to come back from if we don't.
Terrorists win.
All right, comeback time. Comeback time. These guys have two good players.
Together we can do this.
We just need to figure out where their players are good players are playing and go the opposite. Start out going A. No need to rush though. No need to rush here. Play smart.
Yeah, if there's utils, wait it out.
It is time now, my brother.
Dude, that freaking corn dog guy.
Nice.
Sick of that guy. What?
Activating the bomb.
this game, man. That was ridiculous. Wow. Let's 5-man palace. 5-man walk palace. 5-man walk palace. Save.
Let's get in and get out.
Stack up on me. Stack up on me. They're all staring at me. Ah, freaking out.
Should we wait till like a minute? It's a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, we'll wait. Bro, I swear they've got wall hacks.
Let's just wait it out.
Bro, I wish we had 5-man palace. Bro, I feel like they know we're here.
He'll push. Hopefully.
Counter-terrorists win.
Alright, do you guys know your A smokes?
We should go mid.
Alright. I'll throw an A smoke and then I'll rotate around mid. I'll actually, you know what I can do is I'll smoke off jungle or connector.
Actually, if you guys want to play A, Akbar, just come through.
No more talking. Now we fight.
Smoke CT.
Throw in the flashbang.
Two fucking
Let's rotate B, rotate B. Hell yeah, boys. Nice work.
Terrorists win. You'll cry like babies before you die.
That's how it's done right there.
Here.
Let's go, my brother.
Let's do time day smokes at 1:40.
Smoke.
I got jungle. I got jungle.
Throw in a flashbang. The guy's out.
two mid. So A might be empty.
Grenade.
Careful front.
I'm throwing fire.
Stairs.
Grenade.
Three there.
I'm throwing a flashbang.
What, dude?
Spawn for. You can just wait for time.
It's going to explode.
Nice.
Terrorists win.
Dude, that guy doesn't miss with that op, though.
No.
Alright, I'm going mid with this op.
They just do weird shit. The one time I went mid, they had 2 guys waiting there for me.
Boom! Dude, I need to play with the op more often. Oh! Shoot, my op is down arches. Op is down arches.
Terrorists win. We will dance on your graves.
Nice, dude. Thank you. That was crazy. I got 2 kills with it. I guess I'll go mid again, but I got a bad spawn. I like the op. Oh yeah, hammer time. It's. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I'm top fragging now because of that. Yeah, I need to use the op more often, hammer time. When I use it, I do real well. Boom!
Wait, believe me, throw me a bomb. Take a B.
Look at that. I'm getting kills with it. Here, I've got a smoke. I've got a smoke. I got a B smoke.
Connector.
Bro, the 3K. All right, let's do another timed A smokes and then rotate B. That worked super well last time.
Yeah.
So A smokes at 1:40.
Alright, I'll throw CT.
Let's go, my brother. Throwing a decoy. This place is throwing smoke. Throwing the flashbang. I'm throwing the flashbang. Throwing the decoy.
Hold.
Me and Orange are gonna rotate if you guys wanna stay there and just make noise.
Oh, dang it. Op down B, B apps. Oh my gosh, you jinxed it, Scooby. Just kidding. Oh, nice rotate, nice counter rotate, Riptides gets the bomb. Oh, he could get wall banged here. Puts it down. 30 seconds left in the time. Good counter rotate there from Riptides. Oh, Riptides looks CT, gets the kill. Right side CT. Oh, turns. Looks right at stairs. Did you see how quickly he turned around and looked at stairs? That was fantastic. Oh, throws out the molly CT. Smart thinking. Tosses out the nade too. Not the best nade you've ever seen, but Riptides does have another flash. It's very good to see him use his util like this post plant. Here he is. Just puts the bullet through the smoke. Oh, and his friend takes him down for the round in 11-8. All right, guys, I gotta try to get better at casting here.
Purple bomb again.
Who was you?
He's on the ground.
Let's just go mid, dude. F these guys. Let's just go mid. F them.
Yeah.
Move it, move it. Throwing a flashbang. Throwing smoke. Throwing smoke. I'm throwing a grenade.
Frick, one connector above smoke. One. Dude, it's that corn dog guy. Oh, frick, he one-wayed that smoke.
Too bad.
Green, throw smoke, util.
No, it's be molly.
What? Wow, dude, well played, man. That was crazy, though. Holy cow.
I didn't want to smoke, so if I got trapped in apartments with a molly,
Oh.
then he started defusing, I want to be able to smoke it off.
Oh, okay. Let's do timed A smokes at like a minute 20 and then do an A take.
Okay.
Hold your smokes until a minute 20.
Throwing flashbang.
Flash palace.
Throwing smoke. I'm throwing a flashbang.
Alright, smoke A, smoke A. Smoke A. Flash day.
Let's go B. One here.
Yeah, lower.
At least two on A.
Nice shot, Jerry. Holy cow, dude, the comeback is real.
Yo, you want an AK?
Yes, please, so I can get more util. Let's go mid. Let's go mid. Watch that one-way smoke, though, on connector.
Yeah, look, I don't even want to throw it.
No, let's not even go mid. That one-way... Let's go B. Let's just go B. But slow play, slow play.
Throwing a flashbang. Throwing a flashbang. I'm lighting it up.
One pushed up mid.
Grenade.
Oh, do not do that, please, God.
Bro, our best bet's A. Our best bet's to go... Oh, nice!
Good pick.
Push B, then, or...?
Listen to Get watching apartments.
Oh, okay.
Let's not push that. We've come way too far.
Let's go back A. I have an A smoke. I still have an A smoke.
Nice. Guess we got one apartment.
push site.
There's one left A.
One very deep here.
Bro, the comeback. The comeback. Yo, can I get an op? Can anybody drop me an op? Please.
I'm trying to see how much I have.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Thank you. Going mid. Going mid.
There's one very deep.
One push. There's more there. I think there's gonna be one TV room as well.
Corn dog dead. Corn dog dead. Let's push. Let's push A. Let's push A. Come on, blue. Come on, blue.
Sniper fast.
Nice, nice, nice.
Planet for Palace. Let's see.
I planted the bomb. Bomb has been planted.
2v2 in the post plant. Can they clutch? Oh, nice! Oh, shoot, shoot, shoot. Now it's the 1v1. It's the 1v1. We've got 40 llama. Oh, nice. Sneak and play time. This is really good.
You have enough HP to push them all if you need it. It's not defusing. Oh, it's not doing it yet.
Nice job. Freedom won in Romanian elections. Pro-Russia candidate defeated. Oh, that's great news, American Patriot. Look at that, dude. Look at that.
Let's go.
This will put me into a rank up match.
Decoys out.
Hold on, perp. Hold on, perp. Smoking A, smoking A. Flashing A. Oh, bad flash. Oh, I got my head taken off. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, corn dogs playing A. Corn dogs playing A. Go B. This hurts me deeply. Oh, wait, which one is that? Casting hammer time, triple kill. What did I say?
I gotta go with your D-side.
Let's burn it to the ground.
Oh, because it was a 4K?
Nice. Don't win, fucking killing it.
Oh, I gave you credit for the 3K hammer, and that was an actual 4K? The Hurt Deep was the other clip. Oh! That was the one that it showed me. Oh, the Inferno one. The Inferno one.
What'd you hit him for? 95. Oh my god.
Why is that one? Why is that one hurt? That one hurts because I was laughing so hard at you. Frick, dude, overtime, man. Let's just slow play him. Play picks. Play picks.
Flashbang. Throwing flashbang. I'm lighting it up. Grenade.
Oh, come on, man.
Push tabs. Yeah, bomb.
Oh, oh, okay, because you missed the easy kill. That was brutal, especially because you dinked him, Hammer. You dinked him too. That's brutal.
I'm throwing fire. Counter-terrorists win.
We got a hard rush B. 5-man hard B here, guys. Corn Dog is playing either A or mid, so let's just hard B push. Nobody stop. 5-man.
Let's go.
I'll smoke the molly if they throw one.
Copy. I'll keep my gun out then.
Yeah, just push through.
We must win. Flashbang. The guy's out. Smoke. Throwing the flashbang.
Nice, 2 left. I think we got it. Strats, baby, strats.
Throwing fire.
Frick.
He's going for him.
Come on. Let's go.
Terrorists win.
Holy shit, I thought he had that. Yeah, I thought he had
Get
that.
the fuck out of me. Good job, though.
Holy cow, that was a good strat. Okay.
We know the time, bro. Come on.
Do you want to do it again? Do we want to do that again? Or what?
It was close, but he wasn't gonna make it.
Do you guys want to? We'll do something different.
Time to do this. Smoke.
Let's do A smokes.
Throwing a flashbang. Set this place on fire. Throwing a grenade. Throwing smoke. Throwing the flashbang.
Alright, rotate.
I'm throwing the flashbang.
Nice. Pick B apps. Let's go. Keep pushing apps. I'm gonna be smoke. Dude, we're gonna take the win! We're gonna take the lead!
He's on CT. He's barely.
Terrorists win. Run, little girl, run! Right alone.
Alright, I'm gonna flip it.
Let's go oversize. I'm gonna be.
Let's go. Molotov. Flashbang.
Flash B.
Rotating.
Throwing fire. Grenade out.
Nice, I got the nade kill. I got the nade kill. Oh, he's in.
Counter-terrorists win. There you go.
Yeah. Push up.
Maybe.
All right, hammer time. You about ready?
Are we rushing in? Or are
Sweet.
we doing sneaky beaky?
I'm gonna take a. I'll take a quick bathroom break right after this match. Oh, nice.
Away. Let's go.
Bomb has been
Yeah, they're gonna hit.
Terrorists win.
89.
Jerry.
Fuck.
Let's throw in a news in for the last round.
Does anybody have enough to drop me here? Or?
Let's go, boys. Come on.
Awesome, thank you. Gold Nova Elite. Nope. Nope. Man. Holy crap, that corn dog guy has a 40 bomb.
Yeah, they're taking A site really quick.
40 bomb and profile. Oh, it's got a 10-year badge.
So that guy's fast, so he keeps getting the kill right off the rip. Off
I don't know
ramp.
how they get to main so fast.
He's probably jumping on his teammate's head.
Yeah.
Fucking volley that off.
Move!
Yeah. Let's see, actually, yeah. Let's see if we can nade it.
Throwing flashbang. Grenade out.
Smoke mid.
Smoke it. That's insane.
Oh, man.
Flashbang.
Coming through window.
Hey, for what it's worth, you all did fucking great. Great comeback.
Let's roll. Let's roll.
Frick, we ended up with train. Frickin' train, man. I don't mind train, actually. It's a cool map.
Let's make this rain.
Oh, he was up on top of the train? We got hammer time in a post plant, 2v4, pistol round, first round of the map, no pause. Thinks there's still a... Oh, it's a different route. It's still that way, but... Oh, nice. You like, it's not a hole, it's like a little like route. It's to the right, it's in the back. Ivy, coming Ivy. Oh.
Terrorists win. Come on, jump, jump. Laying down smoke. Throwing smoke.
One Ivy, one Ivy. Of course I missed my shot.
Terrorists win.
A lot of it has American Patriot, yeah. But at its core, it's still the same old game in a lot of ways too. I don't know how these guys are insta.
One's still over there. He picked up a wall.
Oh, come. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
Free op, baby, free op. Boy, we are getting absolutely smashed.
Let's go earn our pay. Deploying flashbang. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. What on? Grenade out. Throwing fire. Grenade out. Throwing flashbang. The fuck's he doing? Terrorists win. Let's move out. Grenade out. Deploying flashbang. Deploying flashbang. Throwing fire. Grenade. Deploying flashbang. Counter-terrorists win. Oh yeah.
Brutal. Oh, I should probably make myself something at home here.
Move it, son.
Instead of eating restaurant food.
Throwing flashbang. Decoy out. Incendiary out. Flashbang.
Oh, I know what I can have. I have.
Terrorists win.
I have a. You know what?
Let us go.
I have Costco macaroni and cheese. So we'll see how that is.
We will make them regret this day.